Big Boys
Big
Neighborhood,
Boy.
beautiful day in the neighborhood,
is.
man. Russ, we gotta say welcome back to the neighborhood,
Thank
bro.
you for having me.
Now we can say we've done this before.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, man, let me tell you. Now, for one, aside from when we sit down and we do interviews or whatever, like there's times we just text, we talk, so on and so forth. It's another layer to the relationship now.
Yeah.
You just introduced me to your mom, bro.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
beautiful.
Hey, dude, and for
Mama.
one, the first song I went to was Mama. For some,
Yeah.
it was just one of them things. Like I'm a mama's boy. My mom, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So that was immediately I went there.
Yeah.
And you can tell, bro. Before I even met your moms, that moms mean a lot.
Yeah, that's my best friend.
Yeah, and that's when you know somebody else is cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
You know, how is it with your mom on the road though? There's some things you
It's the best.
really.
Yeah, well, it just keeps everything in perspective.
Hell
Kinda
yeah.
Like, I was doing an interview yesterday and I was about to say some like maybe wild shit, and I look back and see my mom. And she's like, "Dude,
Man, did we get your mom out of here? Because did we talk about the last time you were out here and we had all those girls in the hotel?
what girl?
Remember they were swinging from the chandelier
yeah.
and the craziness?
Don't
you
you
know,
have a wife?
If I'm gonna make it up, I'm gonna make up a real fantasy. I'm gonna make up a real fantasy.
live it out.
But with moms, was moms always supportive of Russ when we have, you know how we
Yeah.
have our dreams and they could be the one that help
She was
or hurt.
upset when I left school, but she always supported and loved my writing and loved me doing something that I loved.
And leaving school, that was around what time?
18,
Oh, was it like college?
college.
Oh yeah, well we think like, oh, it's about to, and you're like, was it hard to
Yeah.
tell her?
Yeah, she made me sign a piece of paper
Wait, what did the paper say?
that
Was
if
like
I'm not
promissory?
financially independent by like a certain date, I have to go back to school.
Wow.
Contract.
Were you financially independent, or she saw you working? You know what I'm saying?
I still wasn't.
Kept pushing
when
that date.
came, I still wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Give me another year. I need an extension.
Give me some more time, mama.
Hey man, but when you look in the rearview mirror, it's genius. It's genius now when it's in the rearview mirror. But when you're looking through the windshield, it's scary to see your child say, "I'm not going to school" or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
You know, there was a quote I've read. It's something along the lines of like, you have to live forwards, but life only makes sense when you look backwards.
Oh,
You know,
that's
It's
true.
Damn,
I
is
like
that a
that.
quote that's out there already? Because I was
Somewhere.
Gonna, okay,
I might
now-
put it in a rap. somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna take it as my own to tell you the
You
truth.
could be anonymous.
Yeah, but I think that's like really beautiful and sums up kind of what you were just saying.
What is Shake the Snow Globe?
It's a reset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like pressing the reset button when you look at a snow globe and it's all just sitting there very stagnant, and then you shake it up, it just resets everything. So it's just shaking the rust off and kind of just unjading real quick, and like I said in the explanation, snapping out of it so I can snap into it.
Hey man, and when I saw what you recently posted right here, and that's you writing for
This
real.
is my absolutely phenomenal handwriting.
yeah.
It's great. Great
but
penmanship.
it's really where people think that they want what others have.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I want this, I want that. And you look and you say, well, you know what? 2018 probably was trying for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What without going through everything, what was so difficult, or what made you realize like, man, like either I'm stagnant or something's not right in my life?
I think it went from being in my own little corner of the world, kind of like, you know, no real heavy attention like that, and not too overwhelming as far as the pressures go. And then 2018, when the media and all these things started happening, and then also like family life was taking a turn for the worse a little bit. It was just overwhelming pressures that, you know, you got everything on your back, and your family and all your friends are looking at you, you know, or maybe they're not, but that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And it's suffocating.
It's
So,
crazy when we think we want something
Yeah.
and then we get it and we
Right.
realize like, damn, you
Well,
know,
that's
you still
why I had
want
to
it.
check myself though, because I was like, nah, I can never. That's what Shake the Snow Globe is like, let me not act like this isn't what I wanted.
Right.
Do you think it was a slow progression getting to that point, or was it almost like a light switch?
It was a slow progression. What it took was stability. So I bought my house. You gotta understand, right? Like before I had my house, I was just living with my parents and on the road. Like I remember making, you know, $11 million in a year, driving my 1997 Nissan, living at my parents' house.
Oh, I want that. Oh,
Just
go
'cause-
ahead. Go ahead.
Just because like I didn't care, you know, and I was trying to stay in the house to like help out. So I bought my house December 2017. All 2018, I'm on the road. I didn't sleep in it. Didn't do anything. It was getting gutted. I was customizing it. So I slept in it for the first time January 2019. And that's when I got off social media, and I was like, let me spend time in my house to myself and everything. And it was the stability of constantly waking up in my house in the same place for once,
Mm-hmm.
let alone a place that you own and your studio's there and you got the pool and the this or whatever. And it took stability for it to start to kind of like settle in. And I was like, nah, like this is fucking fire.
Yeah.
You know? But it's when you're constantly running around getting tugged this way, getting tugged that way, you lose your center.
But that's also a part of the business of success. You know how, and I always say you got to have all the enoughs. You know what I'm saying? You got to be, business enough, street enough, talented enough, homie enough, mom and son enough. Like that's supportive enough.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Because it requires like a balance, which I've never been great at. I'm either like all over here, and then for the next 3 days I'm all over here. And
Is
so
it it harder now? Because I know that there's the reset and you kind of shake the snow globe. But is it harder now because there was such a tuition into the school of experience?
Yeah.
And now there's a lot more eyeballs and a lot more eardrums on you. Does that make it harder, or are you starting to reset more?
I think I'm starting to reset more. Yeah, it's almost because I'm finding solace in the chaos. You know, it's kind of like become a new home. And as opposed to shying away from it, I try to just like run through it. You know, when I got off social media, it was just to give myself a second to like live in my house and just,
Create a home.
decompress. Yeah, and just decompress and like relax. But I also realize it's like, it's like alcohol. Do you have a problem with alcohol, or have you fixed your problem with alcohol if you just choose to not go out?
Right.
Therefore, it's like, nah, you need to be able to go out
Face it.
and not drink.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, I need to be able to be super active all on the shit and it not bother me. So I'm at a point now where like, I don't know, none of the media shit really like bothers me like that, just because I've become numb to it, which is also scary because I don't like being numb to anything. I like feeling everything, but sometimes too much.
But go ahead, love.
Did you write this message before or after the album was finished?
After.
And did you feel like vulnerable to put yourself out like this? Because I think that this is very telling. You're like really opening yourself up.
I felt super vulnerable, but I love that. I've always like found solace in that. Even I wrote notes for both albums. But I just think that vulnerability is where you find strength. And it's when you weaponize your vulnerability, it's hard for someone to use that against me. Because I've now turned like what's supposed to make me feel weak and scared into a strength. So
The Eminem moment in 8 Mile.
yeah, that's exactly the third battle. Yeah.
When you look at where you are now as opposed to years ago, and do you feel like, are you happy where you are?
Yeah.
Right
you know
now?
what line I keep saying to myself the past like 4 days is lately I think I like who I'm becoming. You know what I mean? The Drake line. And it's true. It's just kind of like, nah, you know what? This whole process and this whole album is about growth and self-forgiveness. Like very big on self-forgiveness right now. Because I look back at 23, 24 and it's like, yeah, I was going hard. I was headhunting. I keep saying it in all these interviews, but it's really what it was. I was headhunting. And that's what I should have been doing. I should be going that hard.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah. So now that I've settled in a little bit, I'm still headhunting, but it's less in your face about it. You know what I'm saying?
We were
I'm still
talking
talking
about
my
that.
shit and everything, but it's like I'm more secure with my spot in the game and my,
Definitely. It
You
comes
could
across.
hear it.
yeah, but at
You
the
could
beginning,
definitely
it's
hear it.
almost like when you imagine you just get thrown into the wild. At first, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
I gotta kill everybody and like I gotta survive. And then once you find your little home and make your little like, whatever, then you're kind of good. But I mean, I forgive myself for the good and the bad. I don't hold myself prisoner to the person I was. Like, in order to become who you are, you have to let go of who you were. So,
Do you feel like you are or have been misunderstood? Like people took certain things a certain way?
Yeah, but I understand. I understand because a lot of people don't listen to the what, they listen to the how. And so the second it's coming off in this like antagonistic, abrasive, fuck you kind of way, they're just writing you off.
They don't
It's
like
crazy how you got to try to find the balance of the enoughs there too.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh well, he's this. Oh well, he's not. He's like, am I cocky?
Yeah.
Am I confident? Am I an asshole?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yes.
when you go sit down and you do asshole, what is that song to you?
That was inspired from Runaway by Kanye, where it's just like, yeah, now what though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think being an asshole is the worst thing in the world. I think, I think you can be a nice asshole.
Right. And people
know?
kind of approach you different when they know you don't fall for the okie doke or when you don't fall for a lot of the
Yeah.
bullshit. How has life changed since you had a chance to meet Kanye? Because we sat and you're like, man, Kanye. Then
You made it happen,
we actually
babe.
went and,
Yeah,
and
you're
had
the
that moment.
greatest for that. Like, I just owe so much to you, for real. And I've told you that, but like that's really insane to me. That happened. Life has just changed in the sense that, it's a memory, and it's a moment that I'll never forget, and I don't know. It's just like a highlight of my life for me. So that made me really happy.
It's crazy, man, and I love, not being braggadocious, but I love being a part of that.
Yeah,
because the reason why, man, is when you spoke about Kanye, and Kanye is another that for whatever somebody think, whatever's At one point he's the best, at other points he's the worst, he's the smartest, he's the dumbest, he's what I'm saying? Like, but Kanye, when you said off air and on air, when so many people was going for Kanye, and you was like, no, this is what I like, and I was like, dude, I know energy. Yeah. And I was like, man, I got to put this energy together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that we were able to have those moments together as well.
That was still crazy when you were just like, I didn't know what you or who you were on the phone with, and you were like, he just hands me the phone.
That's so crazy.
And it's just like, yo, it's Ye. I was like, bro, like no heads up.
Yeah. What do I say here?
It's not like it's my idol or anything.
What happens afterwards? You leave the room. You've just met Kanye. What are you thinking and feeling?
Well, yeah. So that was on the phone, and then I was just gassed. I was geeked, and I was also once again surprised that I was relatively calm. I wasn't like, I was like, I could have sworn I was gonna fuck this up. Yeah, but and then you told me that we were gonna have a chance to go to his Sunday service and like actually meet him, and that was insane.
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was super cool.
What'd you guys talk about?
I just praised him.
And life and just it was a quiet, attentive room.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Do you ever think that you're somebody's Kanye?
Yeah.
That's crazy, huh?
I know. It does trip me out because I get the messages all the time where it's like, what Kanye or what a Drake has done for me is what I'm doing for people.
Yeah.
And that's why I always kind of preach accountability and responsibility for like what you're putting out to the world, the messages you're putting out. And that's why when it comes down to the self-forgiveness thing that I talk about, I forgive myself because my intentions were always pure. My message was always solid. It was never, even if it came off like, fuck you, it was still from a self-belief, DIY, you can do it too intention. So I'm proud that with the time that I've had here, I think I've been able to impact and inspire people, which I think is the greatest thing to do is inspire.
Is there a power in doing it your way?
Yeah. Yeah, because at that point, it was, I have it tattooed. I did it my way, the Frank Sinatra song. Because at least it was on me. If it fails, I'll take the L. But if it doesn't, then you know what? I prove to myself, not proving to y'all, but I prove to myself that I am worthy. My ideas are worthy and my way is worthy, which I think is really important for confidence. Like, I think you can get pretty far in life, I guess, if you're just doing it their way, whatever, and you're just playing by the book and just, keeping your head down and shooting it down the middle and being Switzerland, just kind of whatever. But I think there's real power to doing things your way and progressing to a certain level because you prove to yourself that you are the power. The power's in you.
When do you know that Shake the Snow Globe is done? Because there's so much music.
I know.
When do you say, okay, you know what? Take it.
I don't even know what it was. Just one of those things where I go off of timelines. So I go off of like, I want to put out an album in this time frame. So it has to be done. Like I wanted to put it out in January. So then that was that. Like it had to be done at a certain point. And otherwise, it's never done. I'll keep recording and like you push it back and push it back and push it back. And then it's never done and you have 400 songs and how do you pick an album after that? So,
if not now, then when?
Now,
Speaking of messaging on Guess What, you say pass a blunt and laugh it up and celebrate my life. I want roses when I'm living, not just roses when I die.
Facts.
Why is that important to you?
Because I think it'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
And that's the real answer. But I think it's sad that so many artists feel alone and so many artists feel underappreciated or whatever, because it's like we live in this very ego-driven, I'm waiting for you to hit me first kind of world where we all think that no one fucks with us or something. As far as like artists, I really mean like artist to artist. You know, that's why I started tweeting the other day, like just things I like about certain artists, just because it's like more artists should show love to more artists so that it's clear that it isn't this fuck you when I see you world and energy, or I'm waiting for you to hit me, and if you don't, it's fuck you forever. It's like, nah, I'm a fan of so many people, and I think that artists need to show other artists love, just how, you know, in sports it's like, yeah, like he's nice, you know, like LeBron can acknowledge that Kevin Durant is nice and so on and so forth. So I just think it will help with mental health in the long run. Like,
do you think we're starting to see it a little more though? And the reason why I ask is because we lost Nip, and you heard a lot of people say, man, flowers while you're here. Give me our flowers. Give him his flowers while you're here. And then we get another knockout blow with losing Kobe.
Insane.
And I think that we've come to where we're opening up even more dialogue. And I noticed that even with Trippy was like, you know, if you're not messing with Russ' new album, you know, then don't follow me. Paraphrasing. But that's love.
Yeah, I respected that a lot, because I know Trippy's very in the internet, and I know he's fully aware that that's not going to go over well. And so for him to be a young kid and do that and say that and just grab his balls and be like, yeah, too bad. Like, this is how I'm moving. I had a lot of respect for that. Me and Trippy have a lot of, you know, dope things in the works, and he's super talented. So I respect that a lot. But I do think that the Kobe and Nipsey passing probably has something to do with people just being like, you know what, like, this is fucked up out here.
Yeah.
We might as well just show love, because who knows? Like, a helicopter crash is insane.
And when
we artists take private jets and shit.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like we're still not fully healed from Nipsey's passing, especially in LA.
Yeah.
To lose back-to-back two kings like that is just, it's so hurtful. But you also talked about the mentality, though, that they create that I feel lives on. You know, the Mamba mentality, the marathon continues. How do you take both of those mentalities into your own life and continue on with them?
I think Nipsey's thing is longevity, and I think Nipsey's thing is not getting too caught up in the sprint. It's the marathon. And I think Kobe's thing is just, it's putting in the work and locking in, you know, and going to the gym every day. And, you know, I've said it before, but my gym is my studio. And so I think to honor Kobe, you go hard every day and try and be the best version of yourself. And to honor Nipsey, you make sure you're running the race, the long race, you know, and ownership and things like that. So I just think, I think it's about a mentality, and that's how people become immortal, you know.
Were you always this confident?
Yeah, my mom could probably.
Right. Mom was like, oh my God.
I was worse though.
She's like, let me tell you.
That's what's crazy. I was like, that's what's funny to me. I was way worse as far as like cockiness goes. I was way worse when I was younger and had nothing to back it.
See, that's what I see with Kanye.
Yeah.
And
I love it though.
You know, I remember one of my first interviews with Kanye. I remember my guy Fuzzy that worked with me on air at the time. He said, we got producer Kanye. He was like, I'm a rapper, man. You know what I'm saying?
Get it.
Like for real. Like sometimes we gotta tell people who we are and how we want to be treated.
Yeah.
And however that comes off, I gotta tell you the first time, because if I try to tell you the 10th, you say, oh, bro, I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. So
no, you corrected off rip.
Straight
There's a
off the
Jay-Z
top.
interview where he says, you know, like, what are we doing this for? To be number 2? And he's like, every once in a while, you got to remind people of your numbers so they don't get you fucked up. Yeah. And it's just, you know, it's that simple. And I mean, like, I was raised on Kanye interviews.
You're like, I know all of them.
I was raised on, like, when he was on BET 106 in Park, and he's standing there and you could tell he wants to say something. And, like, he just randomly is like, yo, but hold on. I'm the best rapper and best producer in the world. And I was like, this is amazing, though. This is amazing. Like, it shouldn't make you feel offended or inferior. It should make you feel like you're the best.
Did you ever feel like the uphills where it's like, oh, you don't look like the rapper. You don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, what were those days or those things? Does that also make you a little more like, argh?
Yeah, but Drake helped with that. Drake's and Mac Miller's and, you know, Kanye started that whole thing where you didn't have to be. Kanye made it so that mainstream rap didn't have to be gangster rap necessarily. He helped with that. There was other rappers who helped with that, but Kanye was a really big pioneer with that. And then you get the Cuddies and you get the Drakes and you get all these other, you know, things. You get J. Cole who, you know, went to St. John's or whatever for 4 years, and it's, you know, you start seeing the archetype change, and so it makes me feel less like concerned because they kind of broaden the horizon of the consumer of hip hop. So
They were kind of on the front line a little bit too. We could hide behind the shield just a little bit.
That's why Kanye's just a go for that. Like coming off of the era he was coming off of, like you're competing with 50, you know, and you got a pink polo and the whole thing. It's like, man, that's really
Hey, dude, I
ballsy.
remember that time doing the interviews and how 50 would interview and then how Kanye would interview. Yeah. And then when it came out, the battle.
Oh my God,
and I remember,
that was so monumental.
Kanye got it.
So monumental.
You know what I'm saying?
As a big Kanye fan, do you get annoyed when people are always like, "Oh, I want the old Kanye back"?
I hate that. I hate that when they say it to me. I hate that when they say it to artists. What did Jay-Z say? Want my old shit, buy my old albums.
Yeah.
It's like, it's true. Or Drake when he's like listening to Room for Improvement, Comeback Season 19, Wide-Eyed, I can't rap like that anymore, whatever along those lines. But you can't confine an artist to the artist you met 5 years ago. Just how you can't confine your friend or anyone to the person
even
you
yourself.
met 5 years ago, or you.
To
You know what I'm
stay
saying?
stagnant or like not grow.
Well, obviously you have your day ones and you're going to always be appreciative of them. But what happens, or like how do you feel when you see someone tweet you and they say, I didn't give you a chance before, but now I'm a fan, or, you know,
I think that's cool because whenever you come around, it's cool. You know, I hope that it's genuine.
Right.
I hope that it's not just because, you know, you saw this or whatever. I hope that it's like, nah, you know what? I actually gave the music a chance because I always wanted to be about the music. But what I do also love, though, is when they watch interviews, which is what happens a lot with me, is like I'll get so many DMs after like the last interview we did. Or
same.
Any interview we do where they're like, man, didn't listen to you, didn't give you a chance, but heard your interview. I'm rocking with you now. I'm listening to your stuff because I feel like I'm creating a fan base who loves my mind and loves
your
me.
mentality.
And then the music kind of just, you know, propels it and anchors it. But for you to fuck with me as a person just lets me know that you're going to be here forever because I'm going to always be me.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever feel like all the material that you had before, like we slept on it? Like, because you got to reinvent and always constantly go. You're like, man, if you like this, man, I had 100 fucking songs. I had 100 albums.
Right. But, you know, it's like, I don't know if it was slept on. It was just, it got what it deserved at the time. That's just how I feel. Like, it gets what it deserves. Like, I could spend all day getting pissed off that this song didn't go and this song didn't go. But John Mayer has this interview where he says, like, he was speaking at Berklee College of Music or something, where he was like, the consumer isn't dumb. And y'all got to just stop thinking that consumer is as dumb as you think or whatever. It's like, if I put out all these songs and these two are what resonate, then I can't say that these other ones are slept on. That's just not what people wanted more than these two. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
How did the relationship, again, between you and John Mayer happen?
I think he followed me on Twitter. This is like 3 years ago. I obviously instantly followed him back, or maybe I was already following him. I DM'd him immediately and was like, Continuum is the greatest album of all time. You're the shit. You're amazing.
You're
like,
not afraid to give it to them.
I
love it.
I fanned out. Yeah, I fanned out. And my album had just come out, my first one, and he was like, listening to your album right now.
That's
love
so
cool. Love the melodies, love the roll off to ooh. And he's like talking all these details about the album. I was like, this is insane. And so we just had a, you know, conversation in the DMs for like a couple weeks and then moved to text. And then I had this song with Scott Storch called Wife You Up. And I was like, man, it would be crazy to get John Mayer to play guitar on this, but like, that's a crazy ask. Because I hadn't even met him. So I was just like, I sent it to him. I was like, yo, do you think you could play guitar on this? And he sent it back to me in like 45 minutes.
Damn.
And I'll never forget when he sent it back. This is how much of a psychopath and piece of shit I am. He sent it back, and I'm like, hard, but
I need you to try harder.
We can do a little bit.
I'm thinking maybe you could do this, or maybe you could do this. Because at first when he sent it to me, he only sent me just the guitar part, so I didn't hear it with the song. So I was like, man, I was just thinking something else. But then when I heard it over the song, I was like, I'm an idiot. Of course John Mayer knows more than me. This is perfect. Sorry.
But and that's just
But
a life
I love
lesson.
the fact that I had the balls to be like, you know.
And that's a life lesson too, man, because sometimes we talk ourselves, we kill it on the vine. Like, what if you would have never asked?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, man, I'm not. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What songs?
You gotta ask.
What songs have people been gravitating to the most out of Shake the Snow Globe?
I think I'm trying to detach from numbers this go around, so I haven't really been paying attention. But the response is, it seems to me it's like guess what for sure.
Yes,
I love it. It's my favorite.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's one of my
that's
favorites.
my best rap song drop.
It's so
right there.
hard. I love it.
Easily.
And I love the music video too.
Thank you.
I love it. How was that shooting with Rick Ross? Like, do you guys combine
Crazy. That
ideas?
was the first time I met
or-
Rick Ross.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the first time. How did that go?
First time I met him, he was so cool and as advertised. Super cool. Really cool. Not like unapproachable. Super cool. And I remember there's a clip in that video of us in the back of the car. And we only got one take of that because he had a dip. And I remember like I was geeked at this point. This is the last shot of the night. And I'm all like, it's all hitting me. I'm shooting this video with Rick Ross. And just that was my favorite scene in my head to shoot. Because I was like, I get to sit in the back of this like Rolls Royce or whatever it was in a,
Right, yeah.
Bosses,
faux fur.
man.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Mob it.
Let 'em
With
know.
Yeah, they
Ross.
are.
And I remember we only got one take of it, and I'm sitting there. I remember the whole time he's rapping, I'm just gassed. You can see in the video, like I'm like just a fan in the seat next to him. And I remember after the take was over, I was like, "Fuck, I want to do one more so I can look cooler."
Like, yeah, what do I look like?
Because I was geeking out.
Yeah,
so
because I know I was just smiling like gassed.
But it's
you
got to
know?
be an energy
It
and
was
being
awesome,
a fan
though.
of the music too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's
saying? Being a fan of it, bro.
He's awesome. He's awesome. But yeah, so guess what? All to you and patience. Yeah,
I like that one too.
Yeah,
I love how you started it off with Need a Minute too.
Thank
I
you.
think that has set the tone perfectly. Big and I
Yeah,
were talking
man.
about it. I was like, it was a perfect way to
Thank
start
you.
the album.
I agree. And I was flip flopping with either that or like a 2-minute just bars heavy, update rap, just crazy. But I'm like,
That's Need a Minute though.
yeah, I'm like, nah,
That's perfect.
because I wanted to really drive home the point and shake the snow globe. So I was like, I need to have this thing to set the tone,
And I love a lot more.
And it
too.
is crazy when
Thank
you just kind of look around where you are. Like there's work ahead, but when you just look around, like man,
You gotta take
I'm
a
on
step
trains
back.
now, I'm on planes now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
but that's hard work too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say people think that they want it, but people don't want to put the work in. People,
That's a
they want the
fact.
buffet, they want your car. They want your house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't know about leaving your mom or
So
the
true.
sacrifices or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's an entree, not a buffet. If you want my life, you got to have it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So true.
I will say the one thing you left me a little bit confused about, and I think Natalia too, is your
Oh,
love life.
yeah,
Okay,
man.
that love life in this album is like this.
Beautiful.
What-
Well, that's what it is. So that's perfect.
I was gonna ask. Do you
That's
think
so
that you would
accurate.
you would ever find it, or
Like
or do
shaking
you
it.
love
Yeah.
looking?
I do love looking.
Yeah.
But,
You love it.
Hold on, can you step out, mom? No.
What kind of woman would your mom like to see you with? Do you think?
I
Uh-oh.
don't know.
Mama,
Nice.
Nice, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
kind.
She just wants like a
beautiful.
nice girl and who, yeah.
can your mom usually read through
Yeah.
people and
well,
see?
she's like she does energy healing and,
Remember that? That's why I told you to bring her.
I get her to like every girl I've ever like been involved with. I always get her to like do a reading on them.
Instant.
What the problem is that even when she's like stay away from him, I'm like yeah no.
Yeah.
Mom, reading wasn't accurate.
Let me crash the car myself.
I think you're off
Yeah.
today.
She
always-
just your
always
seatbelt.
spot
You're gonna
on.
crash anyway.
Energies
She's
aren't right
always-
today, Mama.
She's always spot.
But at least you look back and be like, yeah, you were right. You know
Yeah.
what
How
I'm
long
saying?
does it take you to bring a girl to your mom?
My mom's met 4 girls in my
Okay.
entire life.
Out of the 17,000?
Wow.
It's special to meet my mom. is
Yeah,
a thing.
for reals.
Yeah.
Were any
And
of those
2 of
fo-
them were like on accident.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I was gonna say.
damn, mom is here.
Did she ask you to like hold on to one of those 4 at all?
No.
She's like, yeah, they can all go.
Man, don't even
Aw.
put no power in any of them right now. Because they be like, he's talking about me. He's talking about me.
Yeah.
How did you and Kiana Lede come together and All to You?
I've just loved her
I love her
voice
too.
and music and everything. She's amazing. So that song, that was just me like playing the guitar, and I just sent it to her, and she crushed it. That's a special one. I want to shoot a video to that.
I love it. I can't wait to see
Shoot
the videos
videos for
that.
all of them.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I love that. I love Patience a lot right now.
So good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought I thought You
one of
Got
the
Me is a
ones.
really cool one to bring Benny into that world, because I know people expected
Yeah.
me and Benny if it's a Benny the Butcher song, 4 minutes all raps. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool to just bring him into my world, even with like Devin the Dude. But that's why I love the album, because I just feel like the most cohesive body of work I have. It just flows from top to bottom.
You're constantly putting out content. I mean, even this past summer, it was, so much music. Summer at 7 is like my favorite.
Wow,
But
that got slept on.
dude, it's so.
See, that's that shit.
Oh,
I know.
my God, I love that song
I remember
so
when
much.
I made that song, I was like, this is the greatest song I've ever made.
I listened to it probably like 40 times in a row.
That's
like the
amazing.
moment I heard it, I was like, oh, I love it. And I was sending it to all my friends. I was like, please listen, please listen.
I love it too.
But now that you've dropped this album, do you give yourself time before stepping back into the studio?
No. 2 days before the album came out, I made 2 insane songs in the studio.
love
I just love, like, it's the Kobe shit. I love to be in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into it's not conditional love for me. I don't go into the studio to put out a song.
Right.
And get
Like some
results.
of Kobe's best shots we didn't see.
Right.
And maybe some of your best work you think we probably may not hear.
Oh, no, you're definitely I'm letting go of everything, but like
Okay.
I go into the studio because I love to play. I love to go to the gym. So
Lil Wayne just put out an album.
Yeah.
Eminem just put out an album. The GOATs in the industry.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream collaboration? If you were to work
those
with
are up
either,
there. Yeah.
if Eminem was in door A, in studio A, and Lil Wayne was in studio B, which studio Damn you. All right.
And just because Eminem is why I started rapping. I told him that when I first met him too. Fanned out. Super
What was his response?
Hey man, I love when you meet him.
I mean, I just like I know I know he's heard that 38 minutes.
Right? All right, cool
but
story.
he ain't heard it from me.
Yeah. You need to know like,
Look at me now, man.
It's
You
many
inspired
people
me.
that you walked up on and fanned out on them. You know what I'm saying? How do you handle the fan out? Because you've been there.
I think it's sick.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it doesn't get on your nerves, or you're like,
No,
you don't have to
I'm
pull
super
yourself back.
appreciative.
That's
yeah,
dope.
I'm super appreciative. I'm sure some fans probably have. Maybe they called me on a bad day, which I'm disappointed about it myself. But everyone has bad days, and I try my best to like be very receptive and open and not dismissive and like, all right, yeah, whatever, fuck.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've been too many times. If I have, it's because I just got off a fucking terrible phone call and I'm pissed off about something else. But I'm super appreciative. I love doing meet and greets. I love seeing fans. Like, I don't know. I love the whole shit.
And you
I love this job. It's the
Everything.
coolest job
I
in the
love it
world.
all.
And I know that we got a Hollywood Bowl date out here.
Yeah.
When does the actual tour start? Has it?
May.
Oh, okay.
May. First week of May.
So the Hollywood Bowl is very early in the beginning of the tour. Yeah.
What do you
That's
do
gonna
to
be fucking
gear up
insane.
for something like that though? Because you're
Not
already
much.
It's a great
constantly
venue.
working.
Not much, to be honest.
What's your headspace
Not
knowing you're
much.
going to be gone that long? Like, how long is the tour?
I've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't stress out about tours. I love tours. You know,
That's
It's-
dope.
Yeah, you gotta.
Is there
bless, you take care of
anything
your
that you
voice,
stress out about when it comes to Russ the artist?
I stress out about how to figure out how to put out all this music. That's like the thing that freaks me out because I'm like, man, I have so much, and then you get to a point where now this song that was my favorite song is 7 months old to me, and I don't necessarily enjoy putting out songs that are old to me because I'm a big believer in energy and momentum, and so if like ideally make a song tonight, put it out tomorrow because now I'm putting it out with this great momentum and energy that's attached to it. It's hard to, get excited about putting out a song that I've had for 9 months and I got 30 other songs that I'm more happy about. But that was Best on Earth. Best on Earth I made in February and
Still popping.
put out, put it out
love
in
it.
October and it worked crazy.
Yeah,
It's like, this
so
is,
good.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, that song go, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's another one. I think like that was an introduction for my wife. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? No
right,
matter
right,
what
right.
the bodies of music were before,
Yeah.
that was the one. That was the
And
introduction.
it's cool because I'll notice songs like that where I have my fan base, and as artists, you have your fan base who know everything you put out. But then you need those outliers that kind of jump beyond your fan base that put the rest of the world onto you. And now maybe your wife will go listen to Losing Control
Yes.
or
Yeah.
whatever, and then all of a sudden that's how you expand your fan base. But you need those moments. You need those songs that that's why Drake to me is just like my favorite. He sets the bar. Drake catches one of those every 3 months.
So awesome.
yeah, tell me about it. Man. Every
God's
every
plan.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, nice for what?
Nonstop.
In your feelings. It's
I
like,
wonder what his
Jesus.
process of elimination looked
I
like
had
when it
that
comes to
since,
doing the show.
Well, when I watched his interview and he was like, God's plan was a throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man. And like, it was a similar story about how Best on Earth happened where he his hand got forced and he had to put it out. It was kind of similar to mine. Like someone was trying to buy the beat. I was like, fuck, I got to just buy it then. I don't even know if I'm going to put it out, but let me just put it out so someone else doesn't take it. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, and here we
worked.
go. The universe.
Yeah.
With so much
God's plan.
music early on, and kind of doing it your way and being in the position where you put it out. And then does it slow you down when you get with the big machine as well?
It slowed it down for a second, but not really. I feel like I haven't missed too much of a beat, you know? But I know for 2019, I still put out 12 songs or something like that. So I still put out an album's worth of material. But I wanted to do way more than that. But I was like, you know what? I'll do the label traditional game where it's like you put out one song, wait 3 months. And I was like, I told him back in April. So when we put out Civil War, like in April or May, I was like, we'll do this approach. But I was like, I promise you, mine is going to work because it already has worked.
Right.
So after we did that and Paranoid and Summer at 7, I was like, all right, can we
Do
do
it
my
way.
thing now?
Yeah.
And then, which is a song every week, and sure enough, that's how I call it.
What about
SML.
when you know you have something like, man, I did the work, I did
You never
this,
know.
and then when you take it and you hand it to somebody else and you're like, okay, now it's your turn to do your job. Does that get frustrating? Like
yeah, but then
the
once
label
again,
or
like,
whatever?
the most you could do is put it out. And if the people don't, you know, like you love Summer at 7, I love Summer at 7, but the reality is that Summer at 7 had just as good of a shot to blow up as Civil War or as any other songs. It just didn't. So it just is what it is, you know? But that's why you just keep shooting. Because shoot or shoot, you know?
Man, thank you for coming back into the neighborhood.
Thanks for having me.
Nice
And
to
we'll
have
see you in
here.
May.
Yes,
Yes,
we will.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
We'll see you in May.
That's going to be a crazy show. That's
Yeah,
the
it
biggest.
is.
That's the biggest solo show of my career.
Last time when
It's
he
a
was
great
he-
venue.
Yeah.
Last year when he was here, I was like, "When's your next show, man? Come on!" He was like, "Oh, not till next year." And I was like, "Damn!" But now we're here, so I'm
Now it's
excited.
close.
Yeah.
And I do have openers for this tour.
Who's opening for you?
First time ever.
Right.
You gonna
Yeah.
tell us?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who
tell
is
us
it?
now.
So I wanted to keep it album because, you know, like for me, openers is a big deal. I never really did openers, but I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I want to share and I want to like help. So I'm gonna have Benny the Butcher, Bia, and then
Nice.
and Boogus, who's on the album.
That's good. You got low hanging
that's
fruit.
great.
And you got people
Yeah.
that deserve it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I didn't want to just do artists hit me up that were bigger or whatever, but I don't want to just
Yeah.
do things for the
I have
look.
never
don't
heard of
do-
Benny
You
before.
don't want
to
to
be
take
honest.
and you don't want
Yeah,
to
he's
take your
amazing.
show
He's
as a
great.
festival either, or you
Nah,
know what I'm
that's
saying? Like, oh, I
saying.
got
I
this
want it
person.
to
I
make
got
sense. You feel me? And I just think, and I want it to be people who I really listen to.
Yeah.
Like I really love Benny the Butcher.
And
I
people
love
that
Bia.
you would watch and you would
Yeah.
get to the venue. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's something that's really there as opposed to the agency put y'all together.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the album experience. Like they're all on the album, so it feels nice and packaged.
Yeah,
It doesn't just.
and
feel
that suck
random.
when you get married to a song and you love a song,
Yeah.
and then they cut it because the person's not there to come out and do their
I
verse or
know.
do something.
I know.
Why?
Right. Like I had to do that in San Antonio at a festival. First time I did Best on Earth.
Uh-huh.
I had to make a different mix for it where it just boom, 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 and then it's over right before Bia's verse because it's like, what am I about to do
Damn.
during Bia's verse? Because she wasn't there.
So that's when you was like, all right, openers
I'm like,
on the
man, I
tour.
know this would go
Can't do
nuts.
this.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
when.
it still went crazy.
But that's when you were like, yeah, I'm gonna put an opener on the openers on the
and
tour.
it
It's
just felt-
not gonna
it just
happen
felt
again.
time. It just felt like I've proved everything to myself in the touring world. You know, like I sold out Staples by myself. Like,
Yeah.
cool. It's kind of the same way I treated the first album. Like, I proved to myself and to the world that I can put out a whole album, do it all myself. It's platinum. Did it? Cool. Now it's like, now let me have fun.
Hey man, when you did Staples for real,
Yeah.
I was like, who this motherfucker think he is talking about the Staples Center? Because I want
Yeah.
to tell you straight up, man, I've been in the radio and there's times where you'll do 6 weeks worth of tickets and promos of this, and I know what the venue look like.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is to sell out a show.
Yeah.
And so when you see somebody come and they say, I want to do Staples Center, you're like,
Good luck.
and then when you see it, you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. That was so special.
Yeah.
That was one of those. People ask me like, do you ever get nervous before shows anymore? And I don't. That one was one of the ones where I was like, oh, I haven't felt this.
But you know what,
It was
Russ?
right before I went
feeling.
on. I was like, what the fuck is this?
And we didn't,
wrong?
we
It
didn't,
felt like 2015 again.
and we didn't owe you nothing, and you didn't owe us nothing. It wasn't like, oh, this is the hometown hero.
Right.
This is the guy that did such and such. You know what I'm saying? It was just music.
No.
Yeah, and
that's it.
the relationship. You know
That's
what I'm
it.
saying? It wasn't like it wasn't charity.
No.
It wasn't to show up. Like you really did that damn Staples Center,
Thank
bro.
you. Thank you.
That
That was
was-
special.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hearing Kanye on the phone, Kanye congratulated me on that, which was the wildest shit.
And then the Hollywood Bowl, that's iconic.
That's
I
fun.
can't wait.
Have you ever been on the stage at the Hollywood Bowl
No.
and looked out?
Have you been to the Hollywood Bowl?
No.
I love that venue.
I just know it's 17,000 people, which is
It's such a beautiful
I love
venue,
looking. I love looking up, seeing how far up people
can't
are.
wait.
I'm like, oh my god, I can't
can't
believe
wait.
people are all the way up there.
Because
It's
I wanted
crazy.
this whole tour to be like outdoor, summertime, you know, it's a vibe. So, you know, we're just doing like, that's why
that
Hollywood
vibe.
Bowl made sense. I didn't want to just do, I could have just done Staples again or the Forum, but it's like, nah.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna give me
I
a
like
cheese and cracker and vegetable plate that day.
I'm
Is
gonna
that
get
what
the
they
sushi
have? That's the
roll.
thing?
That's what I'm getting, bro.
I get the
We bring,
sushi roll. The
like,
sushi
picnic
roll so
I'm gonna
good.
sit in the little booth and I'm gonna have me some cheese and
It's
some
all
crackers.
about
Yes,
it's all about the wine at the Hollywood Bowl. I got
Is it?
so turned up
Bring
one
in the
time.
wine, the cheese, and the
Man.
crackers.
Or you know what? Or even
Big on
better
wine.
yet, like when we at the Hollywood Bowl, when the lights go off, all my coworkers start smoking weed in front of me, like I don't see the shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What
That's
about-
you.
bad
You're the
influence.
group right there.
Yeah.
She made me do it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming
Thank
into the
you.
neighborhood,
Thanks for
man.
having
We'll
me
see you
again.
once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Russ in the name, and stay the same way you are, bro.
Thank you.
You know what I'm
I
saying? Like
appreciate
you're really good energy, bro.
Thank you, man.
Russ in the
I feel
neighborhood,
the
Big
same.
Boy's
Big
neighborhood.
boy.